What's up, everybody? It's Erin.
And Nicole, this is Dude That's Fucked Up.
Welcome to the podcast, y'all.
Wow. Oh. What was I just doing? And I was like, oh, we don't know. I don't know. I just made a real weird sound, but I was going to go, welcome.
Like a little Toy Story alien.
Yeah. That's like, welcome. Welcome.
Yeah. I was watching that movie today.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good.
My brother turned it on for Damien. He's so cute.
Oh my God. So cute. Can Damien watch a movie yet?
No.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit.
Oh, okay. For like a few minutes and then he gets distracted or what?
Yeah. He's just he doesn't know what anything is. So
yeah.
He's more concerned with his new thing is putting on sunglasses and walking around going, like making weird noises with sunglasses on.
Oh my God, I gotta see that.
It's real cute.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
He's so cute. Yeah. Oh man, you guys. Well, we have just the silliest episode today.
Oh my God, it's so dumb.
Some nerd shit.
It's some nerd shit, and honestly, I checked out for most of it. I couldn't even read it. I was like, it's all Greek to me. And then, but then there were some parts where I'm all, oh, this bitch sounds like a cult leader, and then I was into it.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
I'm gonna be relying heavily on you for any of the factual information, and then once we get to the cult stuff, I go, all right, I understood this.
All right, Jared Leto. Well, yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Do we have anything that we want to talk about? Anything like any biz, anything like that?
Oh my gosh. Well, I do just want to thank everyone who reached out for our 300th episode. That was so fun and sweet. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm just so grateful. It's very cool. 300 is a lot, like the amount of work that has gone into 300 episodes, week to week, day to day. You don't really think about it. You just do it, But then looking back, it's like, whoa, we've spent literal hours researching loosely, recording, editing. We've put so much time into it. And it, you don't stop and think about what you've amassed.
Yeah, we've created a body of work.
We've created a body of work, and it's a hot body. It's a fucking body, yada, 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 yada. Yeah, it is.
It's truly wild. I couldn't, 300 as a number is a lot of number. It's a big number. And now we're doing 301. So
wow.
We just started.
Let's just celebrate every time. Every number from here on out, it's a celebration.
It's sprinkles on the icing.
It is, yes, yeah, on the cake,
on the delicious cake that we made.
Oh my God,
really weird cake, but
yeah,
it's got flavor. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, speaking of numbers, large numbers.
Yeah.
Math. I don't know.
Oh my God. Speaking of nerd shit.
Yeah, we got an episode about math stuff, kind of, sort of, loosely.
Math adjacent.
Math
related. We're doing math this episode. We're going to see how much math we remember from high school.
Dude, okay, I was so fucking bad at math that I had to take geometry twice.
Same.
You took geometry twice too?
Yeah, in high school. I feel like maybe we've talked about this, but I feel so much less shame since it happened to you too. And honestly, I don't think it's our fault. And I'm not someone to put the blame on someone else, but obviously the teacher was failing multiple students in this fucking geometry class. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we had some real questionable teachers where we went to high school.
Oh my God.
Honestly. But I remember the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. That's literally the only thing that I remember from geometry, period.
Don't even remember that. It could be anything. I wouldn't have known. I knew it was about a triangle. That's what I knew.
Yeah. I remember triangles, and I remember proofs and truly not understanding what the fuck they were talking about.
Stop. I can't even relate to this.
Yeah. Well, then I was still so bad at geometry and math in general. They were like, let's just put you in consumer math, which was like literally like learning how to calculate a fucking home loan and how to write checks in a checkbook. Stuff that you
Actual
should just
useful stuff.
fucking know. Yeah.
Well,
like how to tip on a bill. Like,
oh my God. Well,
how to budget.
We should all start there.
That's
Let's
what I'm
all
saying.
A budget? Who's she? You know what I mean? I don't know anything about that, and we are trying to figure it out.
I don't know her.
Oh, I do not know her. Never met her. Who is she? Never heard of her. I don't remember anything. I remember triangles and like the different kinds of triangles or angles or whatever. And I remember there was like formulas, and I was so relieved to go back to like algebra 2 or what, like you do algebra, then geometry, then algebra again, right? Is that how it went?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But it was like algebra 2. I was so relieved when I finally made it to algebra 2. I was like, oh, thank God.
I don't think I made it to algebra 2.
I think it took my senior year.
No.
Like I was way behind.
I just they simply they said, this is just too much for you. We're gonna it's fine. You're good.
It's fine. Just do this. We want you to graduate. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I got to college and I had a good teacher and I like learned some of the shit for real. And I was like, why was this so hard for me?
Yeah.
Why? Like, this is not that hard. It's all formulas. They just give you the answer.
You just fill in the blanks.
It's literally fine. Plug it in. So
yeah. No, well, the Pythagorean theorem, getting back to that,
you're making me sweat.
I know, sweating. Right? I'm literally getting anxiety right now just thinking about
my
it.
chest hurts. Is it a heart attack? We'll find out, but it's probably just anxiety from high school.
Oh my God, honestly, I truly feel the anxiety from it. A squared plus b squared equals c squared is a Pythagorean theorem, and that was a thing that was created by a dude named Pythagoras. Mm-hmm. A real person that existed in the world, but very, very long time ago. And this guy, he existed. He was like before Jesus. This is like he was BCE.
This is pre-Jesus.
Pre-G. Yeah. This guy, he's most well known for his mathematical theorems. In antiquity, Pythagoras was renowned also for his philosophical religious sect that he founded, which I did not know about this at all.
Me either. And that's the fun part of all of this, I think.
I literally had no idea this man was a fucking cult leader, essentially. So Pythagoras was born on the Greek island of Samos, or possibly Tyre in Lebanon, or the island of Lemnos around 570 BCE to a woman named Pythias. Now, I know this all sounds very like, is it this or is it that? We don't know, because this is like such a fucking long time ago.
Yeah.
And all the things that are written about him in history are from a distance of like hundreds of years after he was supposedly alive and existing in this world. So who knows how much of this is true, how much of it is exaggerated. He did exist, but like what's real, what's not, what can actually be attributed to him.
Yeah.
So.
Sure. They feel, where was he born? Maybe one of these 3 places. Like,
yeah.
They've narrowed it down enough.
Yeah.
I think.
He was Greek. So. That's about in 570 BCE ish. Yeah.
But his mom's name was Pythias.
Yeah, that's
documented.
That's documented.
Yeah.
And some people, aka he, claimed he was the progeny of the god Apollo.
Oh, he would.
But his actual father was a real human man called Mesarchos.
Mesarchos?
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Maybe. Who was either a gem engraver or a grain trader. And
2 very different occupations.
Extremely different. I mean, maybe people had this was like a common name, Mesarchos. Maybe. Who's
You
to
work
say?
at Kay's Jeweler or you work at Kellogg's. Like, this is two very different jobs.
Yeah. Maybe Kay and Kellogg's of the day were very similar sounding things. Who's to say?
Sure.
Well, this guy, his alleged father was a citizen of Samos. And as I was saying, this man existed before Jesus, and just like Jesus, there are some accounts written about him that are taken wildly out of context and or are fantasy. But at any rate, the best antiquity scholars believe that generally believe that he existed, and at the age of 18 Pythagoras left Samos to begin his travels. Samos are one of the other two fucking places.
Oh yeah. He probably ended up in Samos at some point.
Yeah,
sure.
I think he left some sort of evidence of his life there.
Sure.
He traveled, and he traveled pretty far and wide, apparently. He wanted to broaden his education, and so he studied natural history and probably also math with Thales and Anaximander in the Mediterranean coastal city of Miletus.
Miletus?
Miletus?
These are all, okay.
Greek words, and I'm very bad at Greek. It's all Greek
Dude.
to me, like you said.
It is, yeah. These names, man. I think if you have this name and you could like look at it for a few minutes, then sometimes it'll come to you because you'll like connect
remember
it. Yeah, you'll remember it, or you'll remember one that was like similar, one of the Greek gods that you studied in high school, fucking 2 decades ago. But like reading these, you're doing a great job reading these just blind, dude.
Who's to say? Don't come at me though about it because it's a lot. He studied Homeric poetry, Homer.
Yeah.
Poetry
Iliad,
with
Odyssey.
Iliad, Odyssey, with Hermodamus, and cosmology, or it was known as cosmology there, but also known as physics, with Pherecydes of Syros.
Nice.
And so these are all like known educators or science people of the day.
Known. I've never seen these names.
No, I neither.
Hemodamus sounds like
Hermodamus.
Okay. I was gonna say it sounds like hematoma, but
ooh, rock me, Hermodamus. I don't know. Hermodamus, though.
Hermodamus. Hermodamus.
Oh God. Oh my God. So dumb. Bitch.
It sounds like a brand at Hot Topic or something, like 50% off Hermodamus necklaces. Right?
It does.
Hermodamus. I can't. I don't know why it's delighting me so much. Okay. I'm crying.
Well, he did his best learning apparently when he was the further he went, the better the education got, basically. He's like, y'all are Greek, this is fine, but I'm gonna go get some real learning. And he went to Egypt, and he kind of ingratiated himself with some Egyptian priests, and he was basically eventually initiated into Egyptian religious rituals. He also picked up some geometry. Apparently, I mean, I don't know what came first, the geometry or the whatever this guy's name is.
Hermodamus?
No, not Pythagoras. Well, he improved upon whatever geometry he learned.
Yeah.
And he also traveled through Southwest Asia and acquired a knowledge of arithmetic from the Phoenicians and astronomy from the Chaldeans.
I mean, at this point, they're
Chaldeans?
Chaldeans, yeah. Chaldeans? At this point, they're all just philosophers, really. There's no math yet. Like, none of this fucking is like,
No, It is math. It's just like this is it.
But it's like basics. It's like there's not much you can learn it all in your lifetime, can't you?
I don't think so.
Oh, really? It was already that advanced?
Yeah, this shit was like
it's not like abacus shit. I mean, clearly it's not because we're talking geometry, which is like complicated. But okay.
No. They were figuring shit out. This is like the time that like that's why math is so, incredible, is because it is a universal language basically, and it's ancient.
Dang.
And
good for math.
Good for it. Or maths, as
good for maths. The
Brits say. So he's like bopping around, learning all kinds of crazy shit. A 2nd century BC romance writer reports, like somebody in that time, that not writing romance novels, but like a person who's a writer then, reports that he learned that Pythagoras learned the art of dream interpretation from ancient Jews, and other sources allege that he traveled as far afield as India, northern France, and Spain. That's crazy.
He was all up in it, everywhere.
I mean, you know how, okay, like shit was just, people were just figuring out how to like travel like effectively. And so for this man to like be out here doing that, like
they hadn't figured toilets out yet, dude, but they knew fucking triangles.
No, they had some.
They had a bucket.
They had some toilet situation. Remember, like, Romans like had the like communal toilets with the stick, the bench, and the stick with the sponge.
True. Vikings had like toilets with or like benches with like a hole or whatever.
And we've done a whole entire episode on the history of toilets. They had something.
I don't retain any of it.
Yeah.
Oh, but you know what I mean. Like they hadn't figured out like so much, but they already knew so much math. It's wild to me.
Well, I mean, what else are you going to do?
I know.
You know the saying, there's nothing new under the sun?
Yeah.
Back then, everything was new under the sun, okay? Like,
yeah.
So according to, I'm going to fuck this name up, Dickerkus. Dickeracus, I think.
Yeah.
Dickerarchus. Dickerus.
Why do you keep saying dick? You don't think it's dice? Dice something?
You don't think it's the dice man? Dicericus. Okay. Not Dickerus?
You're like, Dicker.
I think it's Dickerus. Dickerchus.
Dicker cheese. Dicker chuz.
Dick cheese.
It's Dick cheese.
You guys, I am very wrong about however I'm pronouncing it.
It's Dicker. It's Dickerus. Icarus's loser brother.
Yeah, Icarus.
Who survived because he didn't fly too close to the sun. He was on land smoking weed.
Yeah,
he didn't give a shit.
Playing with his Dickerus.
Playing with his Dickerus.
Well, this guy with the D name, Big D, was a one-time pupil of Aristotle. And he says in his, this is like many, 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 many years later.
Yeah.
An account of Pythagoras, according to Big D, was that he was tall, attractive, and alluring.
Hang on. I gotta call an audible.
Okay.
Because, okay. I was like, really? Because on his Wikipedia page, Pythagoras' Wikipedia, there is a fresco that Raphael did, and it depicted him as, and I want to say as unfavorable. Now, in this fresco, he's said to be young. It's like the young, handsome Pythagoras kneels writing in his tablet while one of his disciples presents him with another tablet or whatever. This man, okay, young, first of all, this man is fully bald. He's got the Prince Harry hairline, but like 10 years from now.
It's like kind of fuzzy. Yeah.
It's like just a circle.
It's a circle.
Like there's like somehow there's still bangs.
Yep.
But and that always blows my mind. How is there still hair right in the
Just shave
front?
your fucking head, man.
Just shave it. And it's very wild, and he has a beard. Also, he has neck hair, and it goes all the way down into his back, and that is egregious. Mm-hmm. Neck hair means you're not groomed. You got to shave it. You got to clean it up. Clean your neck up. Keep that clean. I always keep it clean. I always offer to Pete if he's not very hairy, but like, you know, if he gets a couple wily hairs, I go, can I get those for you? Because they just look not
unkempt.
Yeah. I was going to say not kempt. Okay.
Disheveled, bedraggled,
befrizzled, neck frizzled. Man. So I'm going to say,
but what is his face? Is his face okay? His face seems okay. Maybe his face, like maybe his hair isn't great, but maybe he's got a decent face.
And he looks like muscular, and also his feet aren't gross. They're not that gross, because all feet are gross.
But look, this is not a fucking photograph. Okay,
it's not a photograph, so we don't know. And
this is a depiction by a painter.
Yeah.
Like that's literally 1,000 years later.
Yeah, I know, you're right. And also beauty standards, then we don't know. Like they could have been different. Maybe
they thought big dicks were gross and ugly during the Renaissance. So, well, you know,
same. How big are we talking?
Well, you know, like let me put it this way. They thought small peepees were the way. Okay, they were fine.
Yeah,
they're all fine. But I'm just saying they like equated big D's to like people who were stupid and stuff and like sloppy and weird. Like yeah, they were like very.
Isn't that still true? Pete Davidson, sloppy, weird. What was the other thing you
dumb?
Oh no, he's smart. I think.
I don't know, man. Who's to say? But they had a very different standard of beauty. You're right.
Sure.
He also apparently had a natural charisma that was heightened by his unusual style of dress for the day. He wore a white robe over white trousers. So he was out here wearing pants when everybody else was like wearing fucking, you know,
dresses.
Oh, yeah. They're like, why the extra layer? But he also accessorized himself with a golden wreath, apparently. Oh. And this was like a look. Like, this is giving.
Like how the Romans would eventually, or how they like looked. I have no sense of time right now where we're at in terms of what we're talking about.
It's basically like, it's like 500 years before Jesus.
That still doesn't tell me anything.
Okay, it's
when was like the Roman Empire big? Before or after what we're talking about?
Like around the same time. Like a little bit like right around there.
Okay, so like he was like probably traveling, saw people doing that, that thing with the wreath,
the golden wreath,
and he was like, I'm gonna take that.
Yeah, he's like bopping around, just like
also pants, Egyptian.
Yeah, yep.
He's a man of his travels. You know what I mean?
He's absorbing not just the knowledge, but also the culture, the looks, the fits. He's doing it. So yeah, I guess this fit that he would wear would draw comparisons with Orpheus. I guess the way Orpheus was depicted, this kind of like represented that kind of vibe. Oh. And I guess the most unique facet of his appearance was apparently his mysterious, quote, golden thigh.
Oh.
And it's unclear exactly what this actually was. Like maybe it was misinterpreted. Maybe he like made some really good pies that came out that were perfectly golden brown, and it was like a golden pie. And then people thought they said golden thigh, and no, I don't know, but. Or maybe he had like a weird birthmark, or maybe he was like rocking like a thanklet, like a thigh anklet. I don't know.
A thanklet? Oh my my God. It's just one of his head wreaths, but it's on his thigh. He's like,
Yeah.
this looks cute. It's his backup head wreath in case it falls off with some of his hair.
It's like his like hot like fucking what are they, garter belt or something?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, he's like pulls up his like toga and he's like, hey, check this out.
Oh my God. Also, ow, because if it's made out of gold, it's probably sharp. But so maybe it was like a kink thing. Like maybe he would like squeeze his thighs together or something and it would hurt and he'd be like, ooh.
Who's to say? I don't know what this guy was doing.
I know.
But like he apparently had this like golden thigh or something. And I think it was just like it was something like probably like a statement piece of jewelry.
Yeah.
And people like took it way out of context and people just thought he had a thigh made of gold, which fueled the idea and this rumor or this like myth about him being the son of Apollo. So yes, but it could have just been just his way. He was charismatic, yes. Hot, maybe. Hair, meh. But maybe this like quote golden thigh was how he would draw people to him. Like it was like the equivalent of having a big D or a custom luxury watch or something. You know,
sure,
like
a
he
fedora.
Just flash. Yeah, he
it's
just
his
peacocked a
peacocking.
little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like subtle peacocking. You know, he just like flash it, and people be like, "Is that a gold thigh?"
Yeah. Oh, is that gold on his thigh? Is he
Yeah.
like a half gold man or whatever? How interesting. How do
He
I get
must
one?
be a progeny of a god.
Oh my God. He must. Who did he say he was the son of? Apollo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As if.
Oh my god.
I've been blend jetting mocktails in my bathtub. Okay.
Oh, bitch. Luxury.
It's probably not advised. I'm not going to advise anyone does it. To be fair, I'm like blend jetting it while I'm making the bath and like, you know, getting all my stuff together. And then I put it in a cup and then I drink it out of a cup. Don't bring your blend jet into the bathtub. I feel like that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
But this is what I've been making every night. And it's like a fucking Dole Whip.
Ooh.
Okay, I put pineapple juice. I put like 8 ounces of pineapple juice. I put a splash of lime. I put last night I put a little bit of ginger syrup in there.
Ooh.
And then I fill it with a bunch of ice. Oh, and a little bit of sparkling water so it gets real frothy.
Uh-huh.
And then I put some ice, like an ounce of ice in, put that lid on, fucking blend it. It like froths up. The mouthfeel is so luxurious.
Oh
and
my
then I
God.
just have been watching YouTube videos and of like of drag queens, and I just drink my my little like Dole Whip blend jet mocktail in the bathtub. Luxurious.
You are an innovator. My God. I'm gonna do that with something, and I'm gonna bring it into the bathtub, and that's my next
Your next move.
move. Yeah,
I know.
I love it. Oh my God, you guys, the BlendJet, specifically BlendJet 2, is portable. You could bring it in the bathroom. Don't do it in the bath, but it's portable, so you know. BlendJet 2 is portable, so you can blend a smoothie at work, a protein shake at the gym, or even a margarita on the beach. It's small enough to fit in a cup holder, but it's powerful enough to blast through ingredients like ice and frozen fruit with ease. BlendJet 2 is whisper quiet, so you can make your morning smoothie without waking the whole house up. It's true. It lasts for 15 plus blends, and it recharges very quickly via the USB-C. Best of all, the BlendJet 2 cleans itself. You just blend some water with a drop of soap, and you're good to go. I've done it a million times. I just charged it the other day. It charged in like less than an hour, I think. It was crazy.
Yeah, mine. I haven't even had to charge mine again.
Oh, I use it so much I had to.
Oh, okay. Also, it comes in a ton of colors, so you can get it to match whatever your bath situation is. You know what I mean? Like if you have like, let's say you want like a calming bath vibe, like the mint color or whatever, like a water, you want like a water vibe. Or if you just want to like match one of your colorful bath bombs, there's Lisa Frank models.
I
like
have the
you
tie-dye one.
Yeah,
I love it.
and they're
like,
so beautiful.
And the bottle itself is like iridescent. It's so cool. I love
Oh,
it.
it is? Go to blendjet.com, grab yours today, and be sure to use the promo code DTFU12. You'll get 12% off your order and free 2-day shipping. That's very quick. It will come to you. You can enjoy it. Again, you can blend anytime, anywhere with the BlendJet 2 portable blender. Go to blendjet.com and use the code DTFU12 to get 12% off your order and free 2-day shipping.
Do it. It's great. Highly recommend.
Thank you, BlendJet, for making me have nice baths.
And thank you for sponsoring the podcast.
And that too. Bye.
Bye.
Speaking of like a charismatic person, like when you think of charisma, uniqueness of talent.
Yeah.
No, but charisma on this podcast, you always think, oh, a cult? Yes, that's exactly right. Okay, so the organization that Pythagoras founded at Croton.
Like
Crouton? Did you say crouton? Okay, it was called a quote unquote school by like, by people at the time and by people who have like historians and stuff. But that shit was a cult. It was like bordering on a religion, and that was on purpose, and it was a full ass cult. It was even called New Way of Life, and there has never been a cultier name ever.
I mean, I'm sure that nowadays there is a cult called New Way of Life. Yeah.
There's like New World Order. There's like anything new in life. Yes, it's there. Okay, so the adherents were bound by a vow of Pythagoras and each other. So they had to like vow to him and each other. And this was for the purpose of pursuing the religious and aesthetic observances and of studying his religious and philosophical theories. So he was like, I feel like the vibe from everything I read about it was kind of like, it's for all the people. Like, it wasn't just him that's the leader, but also it's all of his teachings, and he established this. So he is the center of this.
Yeah. And
like,
I
school.
mean, they're called Pythagoreans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody was following his lead,
Yeah.
And I can't even imagine. I have no idea what life must have been like then. So like, for our standards today, this is definitely a cult, but like for then, maybe it was just like, this is just what it was. You attached yourself to a belief or something in a way that, I don't know. It's very interesting.
And maybe that's just how people like rallied.
Yeah.
And maybe that's how like thoughts and ideas were, but this still wasn't necessarily the norm, because you could be prosecuted and stuff for like having thoughts and ideas outside of whatever was the norm at the time.
The Hellenic, whatever the like polytheistic Hellenic kind of religion that was around then. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is interesting, but it feels maybe like it started as a bit of like a fraternity. Like, let's all get together. Let's have some like let's think about these ideas. Yes, these are things I've observed, but like, let's talk about them and share. But then when you start to like, when you have to start to take a vow to like uphold each other's thoughts, and like especially Pythagoras, like I feel like it's very sketchy. Okay, so the members of this sect all shared their possessions. So they had common possessions, and they were devoted to each other to the exclusion of outsiders. Very commune. It's giving Midsummer. You know, it's like we do not associate with anyone else. This is it. We're all signing off, and we can all share everything as long as you're here and we can be together. New initiates were allegedly not permitted to even meet Pythagoras.
Yeah, for like 5 years.
For like 5 years. Yeah, they had a 5-year initiation period, and they had to stay silent that whole time. And when they met him, they had to be silent. And then after they met him and it was 5 years, they could, like, I guess, start to talk. I don't know how that works exactly, but the disciples wrote about Pythagoras as a divine figure and said that he was sent by the gods to benefit humankind. These were all people, Pythagoreans, and they were like lifting him up to be this god on a pedestal. And so, like, yeah, this is like fucking culty. It's super brainwashing, and it just is giving, like, yeah, like he is Keith Raniere or whatever. Okay, this is another example of why it was very culty. There were a lot of rules,
a lot of them seemingly pretty arbitrary too.
Oh, yeah.
To our modern sensibilities,
Too modern.
of course.
Yeah.
But
and maybe we can't even decode these like today. We don't have enough information to be like, why would they make these decisions? But people have tried. And there are some reasons for some of the things they do, but there's no reasons for a lot of them. Okay. Yeah. Pythagorean teachings were known as symbols, and members took a vow of silence that they would not reveal these symbols to non-members. So that's just like, if they're not in the club, don't tell them the secret handshake type vibe. That's normal for a cult.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. And then this is so fucking petty and I love it. People that didn't obey the laws of the community. So if you were like, oh, hey, there's like this Pythagorean theorem, I got to talk to you about it. It's wild. And that person wasn't in this sect. They would be booted out. First of all, they were expelled from the community, and the remaining members would erect tombstones as though they had died, like in the community.
Oh my God.
They would basically be like, you're dead to me. And they'd put up a fucking tombstone so it looked like they were actually dead.
It's some stunt queen shit. My God.
I love it so much.
That's pretty great.
Kind of like, it's like a burn book or something. I don't know. It's like, there's something very funny about it.
That is pretty funny. I love it.
Okay, they weren't allowed to wear wool garments. There was no breaking bread. I find that odd. Like, do you just bite into it then?
And just bite it? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and like why? I don't know. There was no poking fires with swords. No picking up crumbs. Drop a crumb, leave a crumb.
Okay. For the birds.
For the birds, maybe. Yeah, or like for the gods. Maybe it's like you leave it for the gods, but then it's like you're leaving them your old food. That seems rude.
Yeah.
Floor
food.
Floor food, yeah. Although it goes with another one. We'll get to it in a second. They always had to put the right sandal on before the left. That was a fucking rule.
Put the right foot forward. Put your right foot forward.
True. But what if you're not? Yeah. I was going to say, what if you're not right-footed, but it doesn't matter. Put the right foot forward. It's your right foot. It doesn't matter if it's your main foot. Okay. Do not take roads traveled by the public.
Take the road less traveled.
Take the road less traveled because you're smarter than everyone else and you need to prove it. Yeah, you're better than them. That was the meaning for that. And then this kind of goes with like no picking up crumbs, like maybe leave a snack for the gods, because you always had to pour one out for a homie, aka they had to use they had to pour, this is a quote, pour libations for the gods from a drinking cup's handle, which was known as the ear. And they always had to pour a little bit of their libations out for the gods. I like it.
Yeah.
I feel like people I feel like religious people should always be doing that, like giving offerings.
Yeah.
Do they? Christian religions don't really leave an offering.
That's not true. I think you do. That's what you're like lighting candles and stuff for. But
it's not for the gods, right? That's always like for you and or you to say a prayer or whatever, right?
Yeah, but it's like an offering. Like lighting a candle is always like.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I don't know much about it. Okay, so these have all been interpreted by philosophers as to why these rules were in place, but of course there can be like multiple meanings. So like,
and we don't have the context.
We don't have the context.
There's like jokes then that like a punchline from a joke that we couldn't possibly understand because we didn't know what the culture or the memes were basically back then. So
totally. Okay, women were allowed, but of the 235 members, 17 were women. So it was like progressive, but still very patriarchal. But still interesting that women were allowed.
Yeah. Also, maybe women were like, no thanks.
Yeah. Ooh, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe they didn't want to join, but they could.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the diet. So we've talked about cults before, and it's like, it's like you eat from the land, and there's no you can only eat sandwiches if you're in that cult from that has the deli or whatever.
Yellow deli. Yeah.
Okay, but this man, it was very specific. First of all, he hated beans, specifically fava beans, and he forbade any of the Pythagoreans to eat them. You were not allowed. And I feel it feels very much like how like his mother, what was her name? Pythias?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, something like Python is how I remembered it.
Pythias,
she must have not cooked a good fava bean.
Right.
And he hated it, right?
Yeah.
Like, like when Brussels sprouts started to have their moment.
Yeah.
10 years ago or 15 years ago, maybe I'd be like, oh my God, you got to try these Brussels sprouts. And my parents were like, no, ew, we're not eating Brussels sprouts. I had to beg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like DJ's dad. He absolutely refuses.
Oh my God. Well, we ordered them at a place with enough like Parmesan cheese and balsamic glaze, like drizzle to where and they were like charred and they had bacon, and my dad was like, oh, these are great. And then after that it was easier. And then my mom loves them too. Yeah. But oh my gosh, so I feel like his mom probably made them really gross. They were like frozen, and she just like whatever the equivalent of microwaving them is, like sat on them until they like came to body temperature or whatever. I don't know.
They just were fermented in the dirt which is, could be good also, but
yeah, or like fermented in like a fucking the carcass of like a dead animal or something.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
And it was also documented that you could not eat non-sacrificial animals such as chicken and fish. So like everything like had to align with the gods and be a sacrifice. But he was fine with, and like in general, he was fine if they ate meat as long as it wasn't ox, because they were like plowing animals and he didn't want to touch that.
Yeah.
And you couldn't eat rams, but I think those are like godly.
Those are supposed to be, those are because
of this time.
Yeah, didn't gods like supposedly assume the form of rams like
like
often?
Zeus, I feel like.
Zeus, yeah. And so he didn't want to accidentally eat a god. So
totally. That makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, for the time.
But I got to go back to this beans thing.
Yeah,
okay?
do it. Because it's weird, dude.
Okay, so you're saying he hated them, but did he actually love them? Or so much that he didn't want to touch them?
Interesting.
So a central tenet of the Pythagorean belief system was the transmigration of the soul. Like in transmigration of human souls into the bodies of animals, like we're kind of touching on with like maybe the ram has the soul of a fucking god in it, whatever.
Yeah.
But this is like an early version of reincarnation, kind of the concept of reincarnation. Where a soul doesn't go away. It just like it goes to a different body. Yeah. Possibly when the human body dies. And this could be the reason why Pythagoras strictly forbade the consumption of meat, because a human soul could have gone into
an
animal. Yeah.
Only a sacrificial animal though.
Only a sacrificial. Yeah.
Or a non-sacrificial
animal. Yeah. This is like kind of the earliest form of vegetarianism that has been recorded. And so additionally, the forbidden fruit of the bean. So we're not entirely sure why he was so against eating beans, and specifically fava beans, like you said. but it's thought that he believed that humans lost a little bit of their soul whenever they farted, which...
Oh, what?
Yeah, he thought like anytime you farted, some of your soul would leak out with the fart.
Oh,
And so what do beans do?
make you fart.
They're the musical or the magical fruit, however you sing the song.
Yeah.
And they make you toot, baby. So
oh my God.
that could be part of it. He also might have believed that beans contain dead people's souls. And
Ew.
yeah, this is like very far beyond.
Beyond. It's very far beyond.
If you don't eat beans, there'll be no gas. So I get if you don't eat beans, you won't eat no soul. So
yeah, not true. Exhibit A, broccoli.
Yeah.
Exhibit B, cauliflower.
That's
Exhibit
true.
C, cabbage. There's plenty of vegetables that make you farty.
It's true. So he believed that beans contain dead people's souls after he did a quote unquote scientific experiment to prove that humans and beans were spawned from the same source. He buried beans in the mud, left them for a few weeks, and then when he dug them up, he saw a resemblance to human fetuses.
What?
I don't know. Maybe because it was like the bean was like curved, you know?
Yeah,
like
and it started to grow maybe like
a
little
sprout, and
yeah,
it looked like
yeah,
an
yeah.
umbilical cord. So like he just like got this in his head that
Oh my God.
yeah. And so
Pump the brakes on the mead, sir.
yeah, sir. You and Bacchus have been partying too hard. So he decided that because there is like a resemblance to human fetuses, that eating, and there's like a unspoken intimate connection between humans and beans, that eating beans was like pretty much akin to eating human flesh. So it's like cannibalism. So that's how he equated beans.
What? Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
I don't know. And also it wasn't just regular cannibalism. It was like the cannibalism of one's father and mother, which is like, it's like layers. Something happened to this man where he just really got really confused about beans. He said he allegedly explained it to one of his followers, quote, "Eating fava beans and gnawing on the heads of one's parents are one and the same." I don't think that they are, but
not even the same size, not even the same shape, texture,
taste.
There's no taste. There's no bones in fava beans. They grow out of the land.
Yeah, this man, he's just like really. I was telling DJ about this, and he's like, I wonder if that's why Hannibal Lecter talked about fava beans in Silence of the Lambs. Fava beans, cannibalism.
Oh.
I ate his liver with a nice Chianti and fava beans.
Oh, interesting.
So I don't know. Maybe that's a little Easter egg for all you Pythagorean nerds out there.
Oh my God. No. Yes. You know, I'm just thinking like, obviously he came up with the Pythagorean theorem like way before this and then had a lot of free time.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Like this is where like he's like this whole fucking bean idea is like so far out there. It's like
it's born out of boredom. It's like you've peaked already and you're like you're scrambling for some new challenge. You're like, I feel like maybe it was like a troll thing where he was just like, what's the dumbest fucking shit I could get people to believe in? You know?
Or maybe he just like hated, maybe like other people's farts bothered him so much. He's like, no fucking beans. Okay, like we all live here together. What's mine is yours.
I think that's exactly what happened.
I think that's what happened. He goes, fucking cut it on the beans, all right?
I think some of his followers were ripping some rank ass toots.
Dude.
And he was like, it's the beans.
Yes.
We got to get rid of the common denominator is the beans.
Because these farts are dampering my sex parties and I don't want anything to do with it. So
nobody wants fucking farty assholes at the orgy. I don't want to be crop dusted while I'm getting
or giving.
Yeah.
My My golden thigh.
I don't want to smell fava bean farts while I'm getting my golden thigh stroked.
Fava bean farts, yeah. Oh my God.
Who knows what is going on with this man and his people, but
he's all, Hermadamus, you smelling this shit? It's nasty. Let's get out of here.
Well, there's another part of the bean shit that I'll get to, but first I got to talk about this nerd ass murder that he allegedly committed. Okay.
Oh my God.
It looks like we got another fight over a math problem. If you guys remember one of my favorite episodes, the Tycho Brahe episode, where Tycho Brahe got in a fucking fight over a math problem and almost lost his goddamn nose. He had a duel and shit. Yeah. Well, I mean, he did technically lose his nose.
Yeah, he had like a little stump or whatever left.
Yeah. He was always like conversing with his little followers, whatever. And part of the Pythagorean way of life was not just like all these weird fucking arbitrary rules. People were in it for the math shit.
Yeah.
And it was like a lot of the philosophies were revolved around numbers and math problems, basically. Pythagoras preached that the world was based on numbers, and he taught his followers that reality and the entire universe were controlled by mathematical harmonies. He preached that math was holy and that numbers were sacred and godlike. I mean, it's pretty crazy how it's like a universal, thing. It is the truth in a lot of ways.
Math is like undisputable in so many ways.
I mean, truly.
Yeah.
But it also, he took it a little too far. He believed that numbers explain life, and central to the belief was that the universe could be explained by rational numbers that can be expressed as fractions. So any number that can be broken down into rational numbers, basically. Oh. And then this one of his followers, Hippasus, said that he believed that there was the existence of irrational numbers, which challenged the entire, worldview that Pythagoras had set up with rational numbers being the one true thing. Hippasus was obviously right about irrational numbers. They exist and are a thing in math. But Pythagoras was like, the fuck did you say about irrational numbers? Come here, come closer. What are you talking about? They're on this fucking boat. They're having this like discussion. And Hippasus, extremely smart person, but not actually smart, kept going about his argument about rational numbers while they're on this boat, on this like pleasure cruise or whatever.
Just not self-aware. Not aware, no awareness whatsoever of any.
He just wanted to be right. He wanted to be right. So he's getting in an argument basically with Pythagoras about it. And
do you want to be right, or do you want to be in
a relationship?
Yeah. Or do you want to be alive?
Be alive. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to be in relationship with yourself as living?
Yeah. And so he's arguing with Pythagoras and some of the other Pythagorean followers. And Pythagoras is like, enough of this shit. I'm going to beat your ass. Yeah.
They all come snapping up and they're like, what'd you say to Pythagoras?
Yeah. They're like, the fuck are you talking about? Shut your goddamn mouth about irrational numbers. You're being irrational.
Yeah. Or I'll shut it for you.
Yeah. And so allegedly Pythagoras like beat his ass and wrestled him to the side of the boat and held his head underwater and drowned this man over fucking math.
It was the time.
It was the time. I mean, it was a brutal time.
That's what happened. You could be killed any moment.
Yeah, it was a brutal time. Yeah. He then he tossed his corpse overboard and he warned his other followers never to mention it again, or else he would do the same to them, basically.
Oof.
So anyway, this guy was he had this whole ass cult, and they were living in this town, like you were saying. This is where the school was set up in what's it called? Croton, not crouton, Croton.
Yeah.
And they're like, their followers are running around the town, and they're like, get these fucking beans out of here. And a lot of the people that lived in Croton were like, this is like part of our diet. Like, fuck off. Like,
this is our crops.
Yeah, like, get the fuck out of here. Like, don't tell us how to live our lives. And they just kept pushing it and pushing it. And finally, the people of Croton were like, we've had just about enough of you fucking assholes. And they basically, like, killed all the people that were in the Pythagoras cult. And I think either there's some difference of opinion on whether they also killed Pythagoras or he was just run out of town and then died later or whatever. This is the thing. There's so much obscurity about, because the passage of time and everything written about him, like, none of it's like super reliable. So yeah. But was he murdered over beans? Probably. Maybe. Yeah. We don't know.
Was he murdered for his garbage opinion of beans? Yeah.
Yeah. Probably.
And you know what? Sorry, but beans aren't people. So we should all just, you like math. You like
let them eat beans.
Let them eat beans. Oh my God. But I understand it from a commune perspective. You don't want all those toots up in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Fucking your vibe up, you know, like, and if that was, you know, I feel like he wouldn't have had such a big distaste for it if it wouldn't have been such a prevalent crop in that area. Like, it was like a big, like, that was a big part of their diet in that area. And it was just,
and like, economically, probably.
And economically. Yeah. And so that's probably why things got so heightened, like why he hated them so much, because they were everywhere. And then why people were like, this is our livelihood. And it was just, there was a lot of tension, sort of like when
you don't fuck with people's money, okay?
Yeah. You don't fuck with people's money.
You don't fuck with people's food, and you don't fuck with their money. You just mind your business. Like Eddie Murphy says.
You don't want to eat them, don't eat them.
Like Eddie Murphy said at the Golden Globes, pay your taxes. Mind your business, and keep Will Smith's wife's name out your motherfucking mouth.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, my God.
Well,
what a weirdo. I never knew this much about him. I just knew I didn't know his theorem. You had to remind me of it, but I knew he had one, you know?
Yeah, I only remember it so well because I took geometry twice, and it was traumatizing to me to have to learn the Pythagorean theorem over and over again. So,
oh my God. Well, it sounds like that was successful.
Yeah. His theorem has made it through time, so
good for him.
Good for him. And maybe, maybe he wasn't that weird. Maybe if he existed now, we'd be like, yeah, you got a fucking point about beans.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people would have a problem with it. A lot of cultures eat beans.
Mm-hmm.
Or a version of a bean. You know.
I know. There's so many beans.
I know. So, what are you going to do?
Count your beans, count your blessings.
Is 300 beans a lot? Yeah.
A lot of beans.
Well, is it? If you counted out 300 beans, I don't think that's
a bowl of chili.
A bowl of chili.
Yeah.
So, not a lot. Well, a lot of farts though.
So many toots. Oh man. Well, that's one thing I can commend him on, his control of toots, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I bet he still had them.
But I wonder if anybody told him that other food makes you fart. I don't know. I really just think that what happened was he and his followers had a meal of fava beans, and everybody just had their rankest.
It ruined the orgy.
Toots in the history, and it ruined the orgy.
Too many people had BMs from it.
And he's like, you know what, guys? No more fava.
Yeah.
No more fava beans. It's done. We're done.
Oof.
Yeah. Anyway, well, that's the story of Pythagoras and his weird cult.
Oh, so weird. What a bunch of nerds.
So nerdy.
Well, follow us on social media if you'd like.
Mm-hmm. Go to our website. It's DTFU Podcast everywhere on social media, and our website is dtfupodcast.com.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Check out our Patreon.
Yeah.
We're about to record a bonus episode right now on a very funny, weird topic. Oh and you can only hear it if you go to patreon.com/DTFU podcast.
That's right. And I think that's it. Thanks
All right.
for listening, and stay excellent to yourselves
And each other.
Bye.
Bye.